lahat sa mga nanonood through YouTube and live streaming. Welcome to the Beach and Awards Committee meeting for today, November 17, 2023. This meeting is now called to order. But before anything else, may we request Head Back Secretariat, Engineer Arnel Portales, to lead a short prayer.
Mandali po tayo manahimik at damayin natin ang presensya ng ating Panginoon sa ngalan ng Ama, ng Anak, ng Espiritu Santo. Amen. Panginoon, maraming salamat po sa pagtitipon ninyo sa amin sa araw nito para sa aming pre-bid conference. Maraming salamat, Panginoon, at nakarating po ang bawat isa sa amin sa inyong tulong. Panginoon, hinihiling po namin na paspasan ninyo kami at ang gawain ito upang mapagtagumpayan ang lahat ng ito, Panginoon. Hinihiling po namin ang lahat ng ito para sa tagumpay ng aming opisina, Panginoon. Ang lahat po ng ito ay hinihiling namin sa pamamagitan ng Jesucristo, ang aming Panginoon. Amen.
Before we proceed, again, may I ask Engineer Arnel Portales to please read the list of attendees for today's meeting as well as the agenda of the pre-bid conference.
Thank you. Thank you, Vice Chairman. Good morning, everybody. Our attendance for today's meeting, today, November 17, for the pre-bid conference of Contract ID number 23GF118, Supply and Delivery of Technical, Industrial, and Scientific Equipment, Non-Expendable for Use of Quality Assurance Section, DPWH Palawan 2nd, DEO. Sir Ronald Supanga, Vice Chairman.
Present.
Ma'am Annabel Dizon, back member.
Present.
Ma'am Mary Ayayo, back member.
Present.
Ma'am Maria Pecaya, back member.
Present.
Secretariat, Arnel Portales, Abelardo Tupas, and Elmora. Okay. Our agenda for today's meeting, for the pre-bid conference of Contract ID number 23GF118, today, November 17. Number 1 agenda, basic contract data. Number 2, requirements of bidding documents. Number 3, documents to be submitted by the bidders, including technical and financial proposals. And number 4, criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award. And number 5, questions, comments from bidders and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entity. And number 6, summary proceedings, including bid bulletins and addenda to be issued. And number 7, other matters. That's all, Vice Chairman.
Thank you, Engineer Portales. So, I will be discussing the first agenda, the discussion regarding the basic contract data for the contract. So, we only have one contract to be discussed. This is a procurement of goods. The contract ID is 23GF118. The contract name is Supply and Delivery of Technical and Industrial and Scientific Equipment, Non-Expendable for Use of Quality Assurance Section. So, ito po ay dito i-deliver sa sa aming opisina sa DPWH Palawan 2nd DEO, Nara, Palawan. As I have said, dito po sa Quality Assurance section. The approved budget for the contract or the ABC is amounting 2,082,800 pesos only. The scheduled delivery date or the contract duration is 60 calendar days. The cost of bidding documents for this contract is 5,000. So, for other clarification, please refer to the invitation to bid or contact our back chairperson, Engineer Eugenio Arcaton, or our head secretariat, back secretariat head, Arnel C. Portales. So that's all with regards to the basic contract data. Let's proceed to the next agenda, the requirements of bidding documents. May I call on Ma'am Annabel Dizon. Please discuss the next agenda, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chairman. The requirements of bidding documents. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders at Procurement Unit Office, Back Building, DPWH, Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office, Nara, Palawan, and downloadable from DPWH website at www.dpwh.gov.ph and at PhilJEP's website at www.philjeps.gov.ph. And upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amount stated by Engineer Sapanga or Vice Back Chairman. And it may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the PhilJEP's Government Electronic Procurement System or PhilJEPS and the website of the procuring entity, provided that bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. Bid submission may be done manually or electronically online. However, bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. So, pili lang po kayo kung ano ang mode of submission na gusto nyo, kung manual or electronic po. Similar to manual submission, the guidelines for the preparation and submission of an electronic bid are contained in the bidding documents. Bids must be duly received by the back chairman at DPWH Backroom, 2nd floor, DPWH, Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office. For manual submission or at electronic bids, _Palawan 2 at dpwh.gov.ph for electronic submission. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security and any of the acceptable forms in the amount stated in the ITB Clause 16. Bid opening shall be on November 29, 2023 at DPWH Backroom, 2nd floor, DPWH Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office. Bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders' representatives who chose to attend the activity. Late bids shall not be accepted. So, dapat umaga po kayong mag-submit ng bids nyo. Or else, hindi na po matatanggap ang inyong bid pag kayo ay late. The Department of Public Works and Highways, Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 35.6 and 41 of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulation of RA number 9184. Without incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information po, please refer po sa aming back chairperson or sa ating back secretariat. That would be all po for the requirements of bidding documents.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Annabel Dizon. So we now proceed to the next agenda. The documents to be submitted by the bidders, including technical and financial proposal, to be discussed by Ma'am Merly Ayayo.
Okay, thank you, Vice Chairman. So, good morning, everyone. So, these are the documents to be submitted by the participating bidder for this contract ID 23GEF118. For technical component or technical envelope, meron po tayo dito legal documents, technical documents, and the financial documents. So what are the documents to be submitted for legal documents? Number 1, valid PhilJeps registration certificate, platinum membership, complete in 3 pages. Number 2, registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, Department of Trade and Industry, DTI, for sole proprietorship, or Cooperative Development Authority, CDA, for cooperatives or its equivalent document. And number 3, mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located, or the equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. And number 4, tax clearance per Executive Order number 398, series of 2005, as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. For technical documents, here are the documents to be submitted. 1, statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Number 2, statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided for in sections 23.4.1.3 and 23.4.2.4 of the 2016 revised IRR of Republic Act number 9184 within the relevant period as provided in the bidding documents. Number 3, original copy of bid security. If in the form of a surety bond, submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission, or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. Number 4, conformity with technical specifications, which may include production delivery schedule, manpower requirements, and or after sales parts if applicable. Number 5, original duly signed omnibus term statement, and if applicable, original notarized secretary's certificate in case of a corporation, partnership or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the omnibus sum statement and do acts to represent the bidder. For financial documents, ito naman po ang dapat i-submit. Number 1, the supplier's audited financial statements showing, among others, the supplier's total and current assets and liabilities, stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. Number 2, prospective bidders' computation of net financial contracting capacity, NFCC, or a committed line of credit from a universal or commercial bank in lieu of its NFCC computation. Number 3, this is if applicable, a duly signed joint venture agreement in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the joint venture agreement in the instance that the bid is successful. So, number 4, ito naman po ay if applicable lang po. For foreign bidders claiming by reason of their country's extension of reciprocal rights to Filipinos, certification from the relevant government office of their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in government procurement activities for the same item or product. And 5, certification from the DTI if the bidder claims preference as a domestic bidder or domestic entity. So, para naman po sa ating financial envelope or financial component, ito naman po ang dapat isubmit. Number 1, original duly signed and accomplished financial bid form. And number 2, original duly signed and accomplished price schedule. So, paalala lang po sa ating mga interested bidder na dapat ang lahat po ng documents to be submitted should be properly filled up in clear copies, readable, paginated, and duly signed by the bidder. And of course, ang bond paper po dapat A4 at yung folder po dapat mayroong company name at name of project. So, take note din po, any missing document in the above-mentioned checklist is a ground for outright rejection of your bid. So, that's all, Mr. Vice Chairman.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Marley Ayayo. So let's proceed to the next agenda, the criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award. May I call on Ma'am Engineer Marife Cayao to discuss the said topic. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, thank you. These are the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award. For the eligibility check, meron tayong manual checking procedure which will be conducted by the BAC. For the criteria, non-discretionary pass-fail criteria or presence and absence of required documents. Any missing or expired documents means ineligible. For the procedure, the Bids and Awards Committee will check manually the submitted legal and financial documents in the first envelope as discussed in the requirements for technical envelope. Legal documents such as field JEPs, Certificate of Registration, SEC DTI or CDA registration, Mayor's Business Permit, Tax Clearance for Executive Order 398 Series of 2005, financial documents such as audited financial statement and computation of the net financial contracting capacity or the NFCC. Missing or expired documents means failed or ineligible in the manual eligibility check. Next is the preliminary examination of bids. For the first envelope, which is the technical documents, the criteria is non-discretionary pass-fail criteria or presence and absence of documents. Any missing documents means failed. If present means passed. The procedure is the Bids and Awards Committee shall open the first envelope to determine the bidder's compliance for eligibility, technical and financial documents such as prescribed in IRR of RA 9184. The box shall check the submitted documents of each bidder against a checklist to ascertain that they are present, using the non-discretionary criterion as stated in the instruction to bidders. If a bidder submitted the required documents, it shall be rated passed for that particular requirement. For bids that fail to include any requirement or are incomplete or patently insufficient shall be rated failed. Any missing or expired document means failed or automatically disqualified. For the second envelope, this is the financial documents. The criteria is the same as the first envelope. Non-discretionary pass-fail criteria are presence and absence of documents. Any missing documents means failed. If present means passed. For the procedure, after determining compliance in the first envelope, the box shall open the second envelope of the bidder whose first envelope was rated passed. For bidders whose first envelopes were rated failed, their second envelope will not be opened. It will be returned to the bidder unopened. For the detailed evaluation of bids, which is conducted by the technical working group, for bids which is open, grade, and rated passed. The purpose is to determine the lowest calculated bid. The TWG will establish correct calculated prices of bids and will calculate the total bid price from lowest to highest. The criteria is the completeness of bids. That means all blanks in bid forms were properly filled up. The procedure, the BAC TWG will check all the required items in bidding documents. This includes the following: the unit price or cost of item in the POQ, which is in column 5 and 6. Placing no price, the column that filled up, no amount offered, failed to place a price for the items of work is considered as non-responsive. One specifying zero or thus, amount is zero for the said items of work, it is offered for free. It is responsive. All of these items will be considered by the technical working group during detailed evaluation stage. For the post-qualification, which is conducted by the technical working group, to determine whether the lowest calculated bid complies with and is responsive to all requirements and conditions of eligibility and the bidding of contract to be declared the lowest calculated responsive bid, LCRB. For the criteria, validity of submitted documents. The procedure, the TWG will verify, validate, and ascertain all statements and documents submitted by the lowest calculated bidder, such as the legal documents, which is number 1, authenticity and validity of licenses, permits, certificates, and agreements submitted. Number 2, not blacklisted. Number 3, the supplier's performance. Number 4, the lowest compliant bidder. For the lowest compliant bidder, the TWG will request for the supplier's performance and supplier's performance evaluation committee. If the result of the evaluation submitted by the supplier's performance evaluation committee is poor, that will be the grounds for disqualification to award a contract. So the supplier shall see to it that all supplies shall be delivered on time or within the contract duration. If the lowest compliant bidder will be found out to be post-disqualified, the TWG will conduct post-qualification and the second complying bidder. For the award, after the post-qualification, if the BAC found that the bidder complies all the requirements prescribed in IRR of RA 9184, the BAC shall recommend to the HOPE or the head of the procuring entity the award of contract to the lowest calculated responsive bid. The winning bidder will receive a notice of award from the whole. Mr. Chair, Vice Chairman, these are all the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award volumes.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Engineer Marife Cayaw. Let's now proceed to the next agenda, the questions or comments from bidders and the replies of BAC and other representative of the procuring entities. So, meron ba tayong mga katanungan dyan? Hearing none. So, let's now proceed to the summary of proceedings. So, a while ago, diniscuss ko po yung basic contract data, yung project name, yung ABC ng contract, tsaka yung delivery duration, tsaka yung cost of bid docs. Then, sa requirements of bidding documents, diniscuss ni Ma'am Annabel Dizon, sa documents to be submitted by the bidders as discussed by Ma'am Merly Ayayo. Then lastly, yung sa criteria and procedures for the preliminary examination of bids, detailed examination of bids, post qualification and award, diniscuss po ni Ma'am Marife Cayaw. So that's all po for the summary of these proceedings. Just in case you need more clarification, you can always review or i-review nyo lang po yung aming video sa aming YouTube channel or contact our BAC Secretariat for other information. So, may I ask Engineer Arnel Portales, our Head BAC Secretariat, if there are bid bulletins issued for this particular contract?
As of this date, Vice Chairman, wala pa po tayong nare-receive sa implementing unit na dapat na magkaroon na bid bulletin. So, kung sakali po magkakaroon, tingnan nyo lang po lagi sa ating website or sa PhilJeps kung sakali magkakaroon. Ito-post po namin kagad yan before 7 days na opening bukas.
Okay, thank you very much, Engineer Arnel Portales. So, gaya po nung nabanggit ni Sir Arnel, kailangan pong lagi po kayong tumingin sa ating website just in case meron po tayong mga ipopost na mga changes or sa aming bid bulletin para updated po kayo sa mga pagbabago regarding this contract. So, are there any other matters to be discussed? Meron po ba tayong pag-usapan? So, wala na pong ibang matters to be discussed. So, I now call this meeting adjourned. Thank you. Ayos na tayo.
Ano na sunod? Ano na?
Harap yun.
Pining.
Nilagay natin, nilagay na lang.
11. Magano kayo? Mag-register na kayo, B. Tapos na?
Tapos mamaya po
Sila ko na lang
calculation
siguro.
ng
Wala ko lang ako nakaregister.
dalawang flood control. Binika po.
Saka si Raquel at si
Bit evaluation.
Wow.
Bit evaluation.
Evaluation, oh. Last case, yung pwede isunod.